Okay, hi. Hey, hi. I am only doing a very short stream today. I am unfortunately sick. I've been fighting a cold for the past couple of days, and I woke up this morning and I lost. I lost the fight. I was really very sad about this actually, because I wanted to do a reading of A Christmas Carol. No one is expecting me to do this but me. It's just something I really want to do. I read A Christmas Carol every few years just for myself, and this is my first time doing streaming. And I thought that it would be very fun to get like a little PDF reader and read it aloud. Do my reading of A Christmas Carol with other people. And I feel so sick. I don't think that I can really talk for more than 45 minutes on a stream without having a pretty bad time of it. And so I won't be doing that today. I'm really hoping, because this cold, I'm on Dayquil right now. I sound incredible compared to how I was earlier, but I'm feeling quite sick. And it came up, like I started feeling sick yesterday afternoon, and I woke up today feeling absolutely heinously awful. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow it'll already be gone. Just a quick 24-hour cold. If I'm very lucky, that will be the case. And if not, then not. Hi Lonely. Howdy, how are you? I will only be doing a short stream today. I'm gonna do a little bit of saving Trestlebridge in that instance that you get in the main epic quest line. Because I have a cold. And I'm very sad about it, because I wanted to do a lot for streaming, especially because like things tend to calm down a little bit during the few days before Christmas Eve. Like I had a ton of stuff to do yesterday, and then I woke up today having a horrible cold. And I was hoping to get like a lot of streaming done either today, tomorrow, maybe even Tuesday, and now of course I have a cold. So I still wanted to do a little bit, and this is the first time ever that I'm testing out streaming on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. So that's new. I just finished the setup this past weekend. But now, of course, the moment that I get to test that out and would have otherwise had the time to do something with it, I'm sick. But at this point, my hope is that I am feeling well enough on Christmas Day to actually be around people and not fear that I'm going to get them sick. So I'm holding out for just that and nothing else at this point. But I am going to jump in. I'm doing the epic questline still. We're very early on. Here she is. And oh, you got a healer? Don't think it'll continue any further with caster heal. Just not your style. No, I totally get that. Frankly, I tend to be more of a jump into the fray type of player in most games. And so even then, playing a ranger lately, it's hard to remind myself, or at least at first it was, now I've gotten into the groove of it, but reminding yourself to stand back and fight from afar. It's totally awesome when you're able to do that, but getting into the groove of it instead of just running in and attacking everybody can be very hard to do. I'm just gonna destroy these. I don't need them at the moment. Mistborn, hello, hope you're doing well. Thank you. I was just lamenting the fact that I actually can't do a super long stream today because I have a cold. But otherwise we're doing okay. I hope you guys are doing well. Regardless of whether people are celebrating the holidays, I hope that at least the holiday season is treating you well. So at the moment in the story, we are in, we're in the North Downs. We had this whole thing with Halbarad where we went up and realized that the northern North Downs are being occupied. Oh man, hope you recover swiftly. Thank you. I appreciate that. I hope so too. I'd really like to actually be around people for Christmas and not be sick and at risk of getting them sick. But Halbrad and I figured out that the North Downs, especially Fornost, have been very much taken over by the orcs, and the North Downs are in danger. We convinced the dwarves of the North Downs to help us. Then we went down here and we convinced the elves of the North Down to help us. And we went and we tried to convince the humans to help us over in Trestlebridge, but it turns out that they need our help because the orcs from Fornost are on the attack. So this instance is for us to go and give them some assistance. So that's what we're gonna do. He says, "Quickly, I must have a word with you. The orcs are nearly upon the town. Come with me quickly. We must convince Miss Boskins of the threat that is nearly upon her." What's funny is I feel like with a cold, I'm somehow even quieter than I normally am. "Miss Boskins, I am Halbarad. Orcs of a kind unknown to you are about to attack your town. We've come to lend you what aid we can in the battle ahead." She says, oh, she doesn't believe him. She says, "Oh, so I refuse your call for aid, and all of a sudden this orc threat is coming." Seems a little fishy to her. So does she think that we're in line with the orcs? That's a little silly. Orcs of a kind I've never seen before approach, so what Halbrad says is true, and she admits to that, and now we all go run to the bridge. That is very funny. I feel like it's hard not to be mistrusting generally when people are attacking you, but if you've been like pretty consistently getting attacked by orcs, and then someone comes in and says, "Hey, by the way, we need to all band together. All of the people of this area need to band together and take out these orcs." And you say no because we can't even handle taking care of ourselves, let alone making an attack against them. And then orcs come and attack you. I wouldn't blame the people who are asking you to band together in the first place. I would think, oh, maybe they were right. They are of the Ongburs tribe, and more will soon be upon us. Alright, very nice. How shall we stand against such creatures as these? Well, we're doing okay so far. I think it's very interesting the way that they set up the different waves of threats in instances like these. Are there numbers without limit? I think the end is in sight. Ongburs Battle Lord. Now that's something. Smash 'em, kill 'em, destroy those maggots, he says. And they're only level 30, or he at least is only level 30. I'm rather over-leveled for this on account of the Yule Fest that we've been playing. I've leveled up like crazy because of it. Oh, hi buddy. And what do they say next? Trestlebridge is saved. Was it really that easy? But again, I'm over-leveled. I only hope you can behave. You can forgive my behavior. Think nothing of it. It was my honor to aid you. Okay. Well, that was actually way simpler than I thought it would be. I think I've gotten so used to like missions and stuff where they last longer, in different instances that last longer. This one was rather simple. Okay, and Halbrad says, "We have done well this day. I am indebted to you as well for your aid, as I fear the battle would have turned against the free peoples had you not been here. I must leave now, and I hope it's not too much to ask you to stay behind. I would ask that you ensure that Trestlebridge remains safe through the night, and then return to me in Estelden. This was a great victory, my friend, a great victory indeed." Perfect. Interesting going back to Nellie's house after this.
And now the time has come to decide the fate of the One Ring.
Okay, so at least I don't know if it's loud enough for you guys to hear.
Who then shall defend Eriador against the shadow?
But at least in between instances in different parts of this main quest line, it updates you about where you are technically in the Fellowship of the Ring, where they are saying like, and again, I was saying this in my last stream, that I really like how at the same time that here in the North Downs we are gathering a council of people to figure out how we're going to face this great threat, it's happening at the same time as in the Fellowship of the Ring in this like game. The timeline is that they are gathering the council in Rivendell to decide what to do with the ring, and so we're sort of doing this parallel storyline, which I really like.
What can I do for you?
Okay. "I must apologize to you, for I fear my behavior towards you was nearly unforgivable." Or Christopher the Wind. Yes. Hi, pal. Palantir Press. Nice to see you. "I must apologize to you, for I fear my behavior towards you was nearly unforgivable. I see now that the constant orc attacks were nothing compared to what Angmar could bring to bear on this small town. You and the Ranger Halbrad have risked your lives to save my people. I am in your debt." Okay, actually, do I want this? Ooh. Well, the armor is way better. Yeah, I'll go for the gloves. Do a quick fit check with my new gloves. Very nice. "The debt I owe you and the Rangers cannot be repaid easily, but I hope to make a start of it by answering Halbrad's call to the council. Whatever strength the men of Trestlebridge can lend to Halbrad's endeavor shall be his to command. Please go tell Halbrad that I will come to this Estelden as soon as I settle matters here. I am still responsible first to my people, but I see now that the free peoples of the North Downs must stand together if we are to remain free. Thank you, my friend." I did not realize this runs concurrent to the book's movies. It does. That's my favorite thing about it, actually. And there are moments within the main quest line within Lord of the Rings Online that you, how do I explain? Like, you actually do jump in and directly aid the people in the main storyline of the Lord of the Rings series. It's just, in this world, you're more of like a background character, but it is running concurrently. So like, there are times when you'll go and you'll like speak to Gandalf or Frodo even, or any of the members of the Fellowship of the Ring, or the people that they encounter throughout the series. And you'll talk to them about what is actively happening, and they'll talk to you about what they're up to in the storyline of the Lord of the Rings. And then other than that, when you're doing things like what you're doing here in the North Downs, where you're like, oh, there's a great threat up here in Fornost and in Angmar, and they're posing a massive threat to the people of the North Downs. And if the North Downs falls, where we are, they're like the main, between the North Downs and Trollshaws, which is where Rivendell is, they're the main fortresses between Angmar and the whole rest of Eriador. And so the whole thing is like, if they fall, everyone falls. And so you start gathering a bunch of these people from the North Downs to put together a council to decide how you're going to matter this massive threat. And it's happening at the same time that they're gathering the council in Rivendell to figure out what to do with the great threat that is the One Ring in Sauron. And in between these bits and pieces of the quest line, you do get like, they're the loading screens basically. But it tells you where they are in the Lord of the Rings at the same time, so you can see like, oh, we're doing the same thing, we're running the same line. And it's funny because it like in the Lord of the Rings, they very much are the main characters. They're doing the most important work, but at the same time, what you're doing is really important too. And it sort of creates this like realization for the player that so much was happening all over the world of Middle Earth at the same time, or could have been happening at the same time, that it's not just the Fellowship of the Ring that helped save all of Middle Earth. It was so many people working together, and how cool that is. I love that. The best. Yeah, it is super, super cool. And again, just like I said in my last, I have to go all the way back to Estelden. Like I said in my last stream too, I can't get over how you're playing a game, and how rare it is to be playing a game, where they're basically telling you all the time constantly, you are not the main character of the story. I think it's so funny and interesting, but cool too.
What do you need?
Very rare. Oh wait, actually I can fast travel there, right? No, because I made Trestlebridge my milestone.
How can I be of service?
Never mind. Okay, well, we'll go on a nice little trek. I was expecting that instance of saving Trestlebridge to last a lot longer than like 3 minutes. Is this your main, or have you got other accounts? Have you been playing LOTRO long? This is my main. I decided when they switched over to the 64-bit characters not to transfer any of my old characters over. Not that I can't eventually. I know they're on like they're the dark servers and all that. And they're available now to transfer over, but this is the only character I've created with the 64-bit servers. That said, I've been playing since 2011, so I had a lot of characters, but there are only, I would say, probably 3 or 4 that I would be interested in like really bringing back onto my account, just so I could have access to them long term. But I am one of those people where like I would have a ton of characters that I would play just for the sake of getting to try out that race and class mix and getting to redo the early quests again because I think they're so fun. But so I had a bunch of those, and then I had like 3 or 4 characters that I would level them like crazy. I would do all of the side quests, I would do all of the crafting, leveling, and stuff like that. And I got very emotionally attached to those particular characters. But for this one, when I started again with the new servers, I decided I would fast track the epic questline because I kid you not, I have never finished it in 14 years of playing this game. And that was the like main reason I decided I would start streaming it, and that I would actually just fast track the epic questline. I've been doing a very poor job of it. It's been almost 2 months of streaming, and I'm still only level 37, but that's also because I've been doing the festivals, back-to-back festivals during holiday season especially. Oh, and my husband just got home. Hi. I'm doing a short stream. My voice hurts, but I'm doing it anyway. But yeah. I hope you guys are not too bothered by my scratchy voice. And thankfully, I've got to give it up for Dayquil, because for most of today, until I took Dayquil a few hours ago, I could hardly speak at all, and every single sound I made sounded so stuffy. Dayquil is a godsend, truly. Good evening. Oh, hi, old school troll. It's good to see you. I was just saying, I'm doing a pretty short stream. I just wanted to get... I was so eager to do the Saving Trestlebridge instance for the main quest line, and it took like 3 minutes. It was so basic, which isn't a dig on the developers at all. I just thought it would be more like the more fancy instances where you're actually like experiencing more storyline about it, but it turns out it was just a quick thing just to get them on our side. Yes, Dayquil and NyQuil are awesome for colds. You know, NyQuil tends to, I don't know why, but I actually feel like stuffier with NyQuil, but not with Dayquil. There's probably something chemical about that. But Dayquil is, when I'm on a cold, my lifeblood. And, I mean, truly, I sounded like I was dying earlier today. And it's funny, I don't feel terribly sick. Like, my throat hurts. But I sound so much worse than I feel. I sounded, especially earlier today, way, way, way worse than I feel. And it wasn't until the Dayquil truly, thoroughly kicked in that I decided I would stream anyway. I've had this thing that I've wanted to do for the Christmas season, where every few years, for my sake, I read A Christmas Carol. And I thought it would be nice to set up a bit of a stream where I do a live reading of it. And I was planning technically on doing that tonight until yesterday I started feeling not very good. And today I woke up sounding like a dying Victorian child. So there's a chance if this cold passes very quickly, I'll get the opportunity to do like a live reading of A Christmas Carol and just have a nice cozy, like a fireside, short story time, basically. But there's also a chance that I will only sound worse over the next few days, and that might very well not happen, so we'll have to wait and see. I still have a bit of a gripe about there not being fast travel in the North Downs, or at least not available to you when you're doing the main quest line. I think that's quite silly. I have, however, over the past few weeks, been making a concerted effort to play in third person, because I have actually almost exclusively played in first person like this. And I found out when I started streaming that that's out of the ordinary. But I like getting to see people up close like this, you know what I mean?
What do you need?
Okay, Halbrad. It is good to see you again. My thanks for your help in that battle. Without you and your companions, I would have surely fallen, as would Trestlebridge. It is also good to know, which is funny, you and your companions. I went alone. It's also good to know that Nellie Boskins will come to the council. She is a fine and strong woman, and I will welcome her and her people's presence in the conflict ahead.
Might I take a moment of your time?
I didn't know. Are you free to play? I'm technically VIP? I did not know there was even a first-person option. I would have only watched people play. Oh, really? Yeah. No, you can zoom in and out all the way to first person. And I have seen some people play like really close by their characters, like this close, which is wild because mostly you just see the back of their head. Okay. While I await the arrival... Sorry, I just got a call. While I await the arrival of those coming to the council, I must ask one final task of you. My chieftain Aragorn must be told of what has transpired here. I also would seek his counsel, as the position I find myself in is an unusual one. Aragorn has always been the one to lead, to organize, and inspire. If only the matter he was seeing to was not of much greater importance, then he would be here. That cannot be helped, though. By now, Aragorn should have arrived at the refuge of Rivendell and the Trollshaws. It is a hard ride that awaits you, but word must be taken to Aragorn of these matters. Look for him in one of the guest rooms at Elrond's house. Well, it's a good thing I have a ranger account and I can travel directly there, but I am going to make the finally smart decision to set my milestone here. cool. Got a lifetime account. Played for a year or two on release, then left, but you still have your lifetime account? That's actually very impressive and rare these days. I had 65,000 LOTRO points in my account when I came back. That's crazy. I don't actually buy a lot of the extra stuff on the LOTRO store with all the points that I've accumulated over the years, so I think I have somewhere in the realm of like 30,000. Oh, is this not? Yes. Okay, perfect. And now it is return to Estelden. Perfect. Yeah, I've got like 30-something thousand LOTRO points in the store, but I've bought just about everything I can think of. I always get the expansions when they come out. But there aren't really any account things that I want or buffs that I want, just because I like playing it the most basic possible way. And I'm like that in every game. So I feel I'm just gonna keep accumulating points forever and not utilize them really at all.
How can I be of service?
You can take me to the Rivendell stables. Thanks very much. Oh, and I get to take the elk. Ah, love. Look how cool that looks. I've only been playing for half an hour. I was right. When I started streaming, I told myself I don't think I'll make it more than 45 minutes of my stream without feeling like my throat is about to rip apart. Which is just the joy of a cold, right? And I was spot on, because it's been not even 28 minutes. And I'm feeling it now, Mr. Krabs. That's okay. One thing I've got to say for when you're playing as, or in the third person, and you're turning, especially on like a horse and stuff, it feels like it's so choppy. Whereas when you're playing in first person, look at this. You can use your mouse to guide where you're going, and it's so much more smooth, which is one of my favorite things about playing in first person. So like if I'm fighting, if I'm in an instance where I need to see other people, if I'm on the hunt for a particular type of enemy, and having the view is really helpful, that's one thing. I totally validate playing in third person that way. Oh, I should say hi to this person. Sweet-eyed Melon. But if I'm on a horse, or if I'm just trying to get somewhere, it's so much smoother in first person. So my husband, the call that I just got about 3 minutes ago was from my brother-in-law. And my husband, oh, do I have to go to the... I have to go there, so I totally went in the wrong direction anyway. My brother-in-law called about 3 minutes ago, and it turns out my husband left his phone at his house. So that's why I was receiving that call in the first place. Very funny. There's some cool account perks that help with saving time, like journeyman riding, which I have. Oh, that is a good perk. Which is a 72% speed boost, which I feel like if anybody's been playing on the free-to-play account and they're seeing how fast this is going for my horse, you're getting a very good idea of that perk. Am I even going the right way? Of course I am. This is what I get for never... I go from the stables to the last homely house at Rivendell, and I'm so familiar with these spots specifically. And he just got here, and I'm sure he's about to leave again. Oh! Did I go the wrong way again? This guy's my favorite. Not just because I just love that there's a person who exists out here, but he gets the best view in all of Rivendell. But yeah, if anybody is playing on the free-to-play account, I believe, I mean, the majority of perks run from like, I like how they avoid the thousands, but it's like 995 LOTRO points, 1,995 LOTRO points, and then 2,995 LOTRO points. And I believe that the journeyman riding ability, which is account wide, it gives you the journeyman riding on every single character you have. So like the moment you start out that character, they already have the ability to have a steed, they get a basic steed on the account, and they get journeyman riding, which means you have 72% speed boost. And it's on every single account. That one, I believe, is one of the ones that's 2,995 LOTRO points, which feels like it takes forever to get that many. And maybe it does. If you're trying to do it completely for free. I was free on my account for I think like 5 or 6 years before I started paying for it. And I just do VIP still. I hardly even utilize VIP services, but I want Lord of the Rings Online to last forever. So I'm gonna keep giving them my money. But maybe it does take ages to earn almost 3,000 LOTRO store points, but I feel like it doesn't. I think it's doable, and if you happen to have been accumulating the points, I really think that the Journeyman Steed ability is one of the most valuable things that you can buy on the LOTRO store. Hi Aragorn, look at him. Here, I'll get closer. Ooh, the desk is in the way. Hey! Make him look like such a basic guy in the game, as opposed to the movies. Oh, that I could be there to aid in those matters, but it would seem my fate lies to the south and not to the north. I will compose a message for Halbrand and ask Master Elrond if one of his elves could carry it to Esteldin. You have done enough, and you have my thanks. For now, take what ease you can here in Rivendell. And I get new armor. I'm gonna go for maximum power and might, or vitality and agility. Yes, please.
Welcome to Rivendell.
Let's take a look-see at the new shoes. I've been getting this thing with the armor lately, where none of it matches, and I think finally, now that I'm in the higher levels, because none of the armor matches, first of all, because you're leveling up so quickly in the lower levels. You're getting all kinds of new equipment and weapons and different things that you can use, and so it's hard to get like a whole armor set. If you were getting one piece of an armor set while doing the main quest line, you would get something for your shoes at level 5, and you'd already be at level 13 by the time you get a helmet or something like that. But once you're in the higher levels, finally you're seeing matching items, which I've been eager for. I understand you have returned to Rivendell, where you spent so much time recovering from wounds suffered long ago. For you, this truly must be the last homely house east of the sea. I hope the waters of the ford have changed since our passage. We left them in turmoil. I fear the cause of these troubles is not yet concluded. Lord Elrond should be given news of your return. You'll find him in his library on the upper floor of the last homely house to the northeast. Okay. I've been eager for this quest so that I can talk about it. So, I did, for the first time ever, just because I've been lazy on my previous accounts, I did the Before the Shadow prologue questline on this character. And Before the Shadow is different from like the other available prologues. Every race in Lord of the Rings Online has a different prologue. Like the elves have one, dwarves have one. I believe the Beornings get the same one as the humans, or they get their own. I can't remember. I think the High Elves, Beornings, and a few others all get one quest line, and then the hobbits get their own. They all get this different prologue quest line, and then the very beginning of the foreword to the very first actual volume 1 rather than the prologues, which is the tutorial quest lines, brings together all of these different races quest lines into one story. And then they created the Before the Shadow questline, which is completely separate from all of those. It's an optional questline that you can choose to do if you want to. It's a really incredible story. It's the whole storyline of Before the Shadow is so worthwhile. I would suggest that anybody take it. However, once you finish that questline at level 32, it just plops you out at Rivendell, and it does not immediately tie you into the rest of the main epic questline. And so what I chose to do is go back to the forward, which is the Stirrings in the Darkness questline, where you have to go from Rivendell then into Bree and talk to Barlam and Butterbur. And then that ties you in. But other people, if you choose to, would have to then level up in Rivendell. Like if you didn't want to have to go somewhere else to get to the main questline again, you finish Before the Shadow at level 2. You then level up a handful of times, because you have to be at least level 34 in order to access this one, level 37, to tie back into the main questline. You would have to level up, come to Aragorn and talk to him, and this is the only questline that you can then start to immediately get into the epic questline following Before the Shadow if you stayed in Rivendell. So those were basically like the main options that people tend to take. I just thought that was very interesting. I can't believe I've done like 4 streams, I think, since finishing Before the Shadow, and I'm only finally just getting to that one quest line that I would have jumped into if I had just leveled up a bit and stayed in Rivendell. Very interesting. I really would like for them at some point to create a better tie-in from the end of Before the Shadow to getting you into the epic questline. At the same time, they're working on so many other things that I don't really blame them for not having done that yet. I can't believe it took me all that time, and I'm finally here reading this. But yes, I will go talk to Lord Elrond in the Last Homely House, which is where I accidentally went the first time. But yeah, see, for all of that that I was saying earlier about how this does like actually run concurrent with the main questline, Aragorn and Boromir and Gimli, and if you go to the in my list, and if you go to the Last Homely House, you'll find Frodo and Merry and Pippin in there in Bilbo's room with him. They're all waiting for the Council of Elrond, which is where they discuss what they're going to do about the One Ring. And then, of course, you just put together this council, which hasn't technically happened yet, and they ask you to go talk to Elrond about it. That's really cool. It is really cool. And the reason that he can't go, even though he's in charge of the Rangers, who are the people who are helping run Estelden right now in the North Downs, is because he has to attend this council, which is like way more important to him with like immediacy. So it's just fantastic the way that all runs together. And then of course, who doesn't love getting to be in Rivendell? Look at that, the Last Homely House. Oop, I ran into a bush. Oh no. Okay. The Last Homely House. Very nice. I really do appreciate the way that they manage Elvish architecture in Lord of the Rings Online. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Yeah, here's Bilbo's room. I don't know if I'm allowed in right now, but I can try and go inside. Walk in and say hi. Yeah, here they are. And I don't know where Bilbo is. Samwise, Merry and Pippin, just like I said, they're all waiting so that they can hide out and listen while everybody does the Council of Elrond. and then jump in and say that they're gonna go with Frodo. Okay, Elrond's Hall. Which, didn't they used to call that the library? Or am I being silly? No, I do need to go to the library. It's just a different entrance. I think I have to go upstairs. Okay. East porch. Is it all the way upstairs? And before anybody questions, there we go, Elrond's library. I have been playing this game for 14 years, and for 14 years, I get lost every time. I have so much trouble just finding stuff. It's funny, I've got an incredible sense of direction in real life, and the moment I'm playing a video game, that just goes out the window. Okay, and Elrond. Oh, come on. Yeah, there he is. He was right behind me when I came down the stairs. Hi, Elrond.
Will you lend me your aid?
Okay. The path you took to my doorstep is perilous, though not more perilous than the road that brought you here at the end of the Second Age. Danger is all too common, even in these later days. If you will consent to lend us your aid once more, it will not be the least of your challenges. Absolutely, Elrond. Welcome back to Imladris. It is good that you have come, and the reason that they talk to me like that is because I'm playing a high elf, by the way. Different races in Lord of the Rings, you get different dialogue within these quest lines. So even if you're doing the exact same quest line, if he was talking to like a dwarf, there would probably be some commentary on the irony of being welcome in Rivendell as like a friend and ally. If you're playing a hobbit, they'd probably say something about how far you've come from the Shire, and so on and so forth. But they speak to me like, oh, you're known here, you've been here, is because I'm a high elf. So he says, it is good that you've come. Rest well, but neither as deeply nor as long as you did before. We have need of your skills, for there is evil beyond the veil. Not more than 2 months ago, a hobbit by the name of Frodo Baggins and his companions were pursued to the ford of Bruinen by servants of the enemy. I speak of the Nine, the Nazgul, fell creatures in the service of Sauron, and though the Bruinen fell upon them at my command, we have found the steeds of only 8. One of the riders is unaccounted for. My sons set forth with scouts bound to them by friendship to seek this missing rider. I ask that you speak with Elladan at their camp of Thornhad, among the Bruinen gorges, and lend your aid to the search. We must learn where this Nazgul has gone, and most importantly, his designs. So, I'm gonna go hang out with Elrond's sons and their friends and help them figure out... Oh, where's the door? And help them figure out where that final rider is. That's some impressive attention to detail. It is incredibly cool. I love when the devs have tailored dialogue for, yes, exactly. And in fact, they have tailored dialogue for your classes as well. So I'm playing a ranger, and people will refer to you as a ranger. They'll refer to your sharp sight. They'll refer to your speed with a bow and stuff like that. If you're playing a champion, they'll probably refer to your strength, or your courage in action and stuff like that. It's really cool the way that they do that. It's way more noticeable and poignant in the dialogue in regards to your race. And I think that's especially when you're playing an elf or a dwarf, just because there's some unfriendliness between elves and dwarves. So if you're playing an elf and you're in a dwarven area and you're speaking to someone there, they'll speak about how they're not certain, they mistrust you, and then you do the quest for them anyway, and then after you finish it, they talk to you again. They're like, hey, I was wrong to judge you, I'm so grateful for your help, and stuff like that. And that is like a pretty common thing that you'll see in Lord of the Rings Online, which is just very respectable. It's very cool the way that they've done that. So I'm over here in Rivendell, and I need to go over here to Thornhad. And I've never been there before, so I don't have the stable master access. I think what I'm gonna do is ride out to the beautiful view of Rivendell where that one guy is standing, and I might have to call it a night because I am sick and I'm starting to feel it. My throat is very, very scratchy, and I've already been going for 45 minutes, which is funny because normally when I'm not sick I can stream for anywhere from like 2 to 2.5 hours. So that just goes to show how much I need to rest, which is totally fine by me. Oh, hi Sharky. Oh, I'm so sorry, Sharky. I was just saying I'm about to head out. I have a cold, which is very unfortunate. Okay, we're gonna hang out with this guy really quick and get a view of Rivendell in the evening. How about that? The last homely house from so far away. And if you look over there, that's where the stables were. Very, very pretty. So, I have a cold. I only just got it yesterday. I'm hoping it'll be gone by tomorrow. I have a habit of streaming on Sundays, Mondays, and Wednesdays. That's been somewhat consistent. There's a chance, if I'm still feeling sick tomorrow, or, God forbid, sicker, knock on wood, I'm hoping that isn't the case, I might push tomorrow's stream back to Tuesday. I will not be streaming on Wednesday, obviously, because that's, Wednesday is Christmas Eve, right? Yes. I'll be busy. I hope everyone else will be busy too. But I'll be back afterwards. And yeah, so hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then Tuesday. And Rivendell is always gorgeous. Yes, it's true. I hope to be in better spirits by that point, and I hope to do a proper full stream. In the meantime, I hope everybody has a wonderful time. I hope you're enjoying the weather wherever you are. I live in the desert, so it's very much not a white Christmas at the moment, but it is nice and chilly out in the evenings, which I've been enjoying. Feel better. If I don't see you, Merry Christmas. Yeah, absolutely. If I don't see you guys, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays if you don't celebrate Christmas. Thank you guys so much for the well wishes. I really appreciate it. I'm glad we were able to hang out, and I will see you guys all very soon, I hope. Goodbye.